There are moments when you stand in the middle of your life and everything feels like it has shifted. What once burned with clarity now feels distant. The voice that once thundered now seems like a whisper buried under the weight of your own questions. You wonder if you misheard God. You wonder if perhaps the promise expired somewhere along the way. The years, the mistakes, the unexpected turns have tried to convince you that what He spoke over you no longer applies. But hear this now. The calling on your life still stands. Before the world knew your name, before your first breath, heaven had already marked you. His hands wrote your story with purpose that cannot be undone. His voice called you forth not because you would be flawless but because He knew every valley you would walk through and still chose you. That is the weight of divine calling. It is not a suggestion. It is not dependent on your perfection. It is an unshakable decree written in eternal ink that does not fade. You may look at the years behind you and see only wasted time. But heaven does not call them wasted. Every tear has watered the ground. Every battle has forged strength. Every delay has prepared you for weight you cannot yet see. What felt like silence was not absence. It was God building something deeper in you. What felt like denial was preparation for a door bigger than what you imagined. His call did not leave when you fell. It did not walk away when you doubted. It is still here. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are standing in the very place where His grace meets you. The enemy wants you to believe that it is over so you will quit before you see the promise unfold. But God whispers through the noise, I have not changed my mind. The calling still stands. Stand up, beloved. Shake off the weight of shame. Let the ruins become an altar where resurrection begins. My word over you cannot return void. You have asked if the years have disqualified you. You have wondered if the cracks in your story made you unusable. But the same God who called you then calls you now. He is not intimidated by the broken pieces. He does not discard what is cracked. He fills it with glory. What you thought disqualified you is the very place where His power will be revealed. The fire you thought burned out is not gone. It is waiting for His wind to breathe again. Do not despise the seasons that felt like delay. They have been the soil for roots that can withstand the storm. What you carried in the beginning is still inside you. The gifts have not expired. The anointing has not lifted. The same breath that spoke over you in the secret place is speaking again now. The calling on your life still stands because the one who called you has not changed. His voice is steady. His promise unshaken. There are people tied to your obedience. There are lives waiting on the other side of your yes. That is why the battle has been so fierce. That is why the weight has felt unbearable at times. The enemy is not after your comfort, he is after your calling. But what God has placed in you cannot be stolen. It can be fought, it can be opposed, but it cannot be erased. You are carrying something eternal. And heaven refuses to let you forget it. Even when you ran, His call pursued you. Even when you hid, His voice found you. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are not beyond the reach of the one who wrote your name in His plan before the foundation of the world. The calling on your life still stands. Let that truth sink deep and silence every lie that says otherwise. Right here, in the middle of this journey, pause and hear this. You are not the only one who needs this reminder. There are others sitting in silence, wondering if God has abandoned what He spoke over them. There are hearts waiting in the dark for a spark of hope. If this word is stirring your spirit, do not keep it to yourself. Take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe so that this message can reach further. Someone else's breakthrough might begin because you decided to carry this whisper to them. The calling on their life still stands. This is not just encouragement, this is a prophetic decree. Heaven is leaning into your story right now. The same God who called Moses from the wilderness, who raised David from obscurity, who breathed on dry bones and made an army rise, is the same God speaking over you. Your wilderness does not cancel your assignment. Your obscurity does not erase your anointing. Your brokenness does not silence His voice. The call stands because He stands. There are seasons where everything familiar is stripped away. The doors you thought would open remain shut. The people you counted on are no longer standing beside you. It feels like the ground has been pulled from beneath your feet. And you are left wondering if God still has a plan. But it is often in these barren places that his whisper becomes the loudest. He is not punishing you, he is positioning you. He is not removing, he is refining. The calling on your life has not been cancelled, it is being shish. When you feel unseen, remember that God does his best work in hidden places. Seeds are not buried to be forgotten, they are planted to grow. You have been in the soil of preparation. And though it has felt dark and lonely, the roots have been going deep. The assignment on your life requires more than shallow faith. That is why the process has been so intense. That is why you have felt pressure pressing on every side. Diamonds are formed this way. Oil is pressed out this way. Glory is birthed this way. There is a sound from heaven calling you to rise again. Not in your own strength. Not with your own striving. But with the assurance that the one who began this work will see it through. You do not need to manufacture the fire, he is the fire. You do not need to prove the calling, his spirit confirms it. All you need to do is say yes again. Lay it all down and watch as he breathes new life into what you thought was over. Beloved, you have cried prayers that felt unanswered. But not one word has fallen to the ground. You have felt the ache of delay. But heaven has been moving in ways you cannot see. The timing of God is perfect. Not because it matches our expectation but because it aligns with his eternal plan. What feels late to you is right on time to him. When he moves, everything shifts in a moment. And that moment is coming. Lift your head. The weight you carry is not the end of your story. The enemy wanted you to lay down your sword and walk away. But you are not quitting here. The same God who called you then calls you now. The same voice that thundered in the beginning is still speaking. The same hand that marked you still holds you. This is not the end. This is the beginning of the next chapter. And the calling still stands. Every step you take in faith is breaking chains you cannot see. Every time you choose to believe again, heaven rejoices. You are not fighting for a dream. You are walking in a destiny written before time began. The weight of this call is evidence of its importance. The opposition you have faced is proof of its power. Do not shrink back now. Do not silence the voice that says rise. You were made for this moment. God has not abandoned what he spoke over you. His word is alive, active, and sharper than every lie that has tried to choke your hope. You will see the promise. You will step into the assignment. And when you do, you will look back and see that even the broken roads led you exactly where his hand intended. The calling on your life still stands. And it always will. There is a holy persistence in the heart of God that refuses to let go of you. Long before you were aware of him, he was aware of you. Through every season of wandering, his eyes never left you. The call on your life is not an accident. It is the blueprint of heaven imprinted on your soul. That is why you feel the pull even when you try to walk away. That is why the whisper keeps finding you in the quiet places. His voice is not done speaking because his plan is not done unfolding. Some of you have been standing in a season that feels like nothing is moving. You are asking if God has forgotten you. But he has been holding you steady. The deeper the foundation, the greater the structure it can hold. You have been in a season of digging, of pressing, of stretching because what is coming carries eternal weight. The calling on your life demands depth. And God loves you too much to rush the process. Trust the hands that formed you. Trust the one who called you. You may think you have nothing left to give. But what you carry is not your own strength. The Spirit of God within you is your sustaining power. When you feel empty, he is full. When you feel weak, he is strong. The assignment is not dependent on what you can manufacture. It is dependent on the one who lives within you. That is why the enemy cannot kill it. That is why the calling survives every storm. It is not anchored in you, it is anchored in him. Beloved, the story is not over. The author is still writing. You are about to see chapters unfold that will make sense of every tear you cried. You are about to see doors open that no man can shut. You are about to step into rooms you thought were locked forever. The calling on your life is not a faded memory. It is a living reality waiting to break forth. Lift your head. Take courage. The same God who began this good work will bring it to completion. Every time you whispered yes through trembling lips, heaven heard you. Every time you chose to stand when everything in you wanted to quit, you were aligning with the eternal decree over your life. The angels have watched as you fought battles unseen, and the Father has held every moment close. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are chosen. You are marked. And no force in hell can erase what God has spoken over you. There is a fire returning to your spirit even now. It may feel small, but His breath is near. The embers are about to ignite again. What you thought was over is about to come alive. What you thought was dead is about to breathe again. This is not just another season. This is a divine reset. The calling on your life still stands, and heaven is about to prove it before your eyes. The calling of God is not a fragile thread that can snap under pressure. It is a cord woven with eternity. It weaves through every mistake, every delay, every detour, and still holds strong. There were nights you felt you broke it beyond repair, but His voice never left. Even in the dark, His Spirit was hovering over you, whispering the same truth. I am not done with you yet. The world may count you out, but heaven does not retract what it has spoken. There is a sound of awakening rising over your life. It is subtle now, like the first rays of dawn breaking through a long night, but it is coming with power. You will not stay in this valley forever. The season that tried to bury you will become the ground from which you rise. God is not just restoring what you lost. He is resurrecting what you thought was gone forever. The calling on your life still stands, untouched by the storm. You have carried questions deep in your soul, questions you were afraid to voice. Does God still want me? Can He still use me? Have I gone too far? Hear this clearly. You cannot outrun His grace. You cannot out-sin His mercy. You cannot erase His choosing. The cross settled it once and for all. His blood did not just cover your past, it sealed your future. The calling on your life was written in covenant ink that no failure can wash away. Every scar you carry tells a story, not of defeat but of survival. You are still here, and that alone is evidence of purpose. Hell threw its worst at you, and you are still standing. That is because what you carry is not human strength, it is divine assignment. And divine assignment does not die. It may lie dormant, it may wait in silence, but when God speaks again, it comes alive with fire that cannot be quenched. Beloved, there are generations tied to your obedience. The weight you feel is not just about you, it is about the ripple effect your life will create. That is why the fight has been so intense. That is why you have felt opposition at every turn. The enemy sees the potential of your yes. He knows that one act of surrender can shift entire bloodlines. That is why he tried to convince you it was over. But what God has called cannot be cancelled. The season you are in right now is not wasted. It is holy ground. You are being forged in the fire for a glory that eyes have not seen yet. When the time comes, the unveiling will be worth every tear, every prayer, every sleepless night, and when it happens, you will know without a doubt, it was never about your strength, it was always about His faithfulness. The calling on your life still stands, and heaven will back every step you take into it. There is a moment coming when you will look back and see the hand of God in every twist and turn. The things that made no sense will suddenly align like pieces of a divine puzzle. You will see that not a single step was wasted. Even the detours were part of the design. The God who called you is the God who orchestrates every detail. His sovereignty does not fail, and His calling does not expire. Take courage now. Let hope rise again. The breath in your lungs is proof that your assignment is not finished. You are still here because there is still work to do. Still lives to touch. Still glory to reveal. Lift your eyes to the hills. Your help comes from the Lord. His voice is near, and it is saying once again, beloved, rise. The calling on your life still stands. In the quiet moments when no one sees your struggle, when you are wrestling with doubt and fear, the Spirit of God is closest. He bends low to remind you that what he placed inside you is eternal. You were born carrying something heaven sent, and no force on earth or in hell can remove it. The weight you feel is not a burden, it is evidence of purpose. You are not carrying failure, you are carrying destiny. The night seasons have taught you to listen for the whisper. The battles have taught you to lean not on your own understanding but on his unshakable word. Every breaking point became a meeting point with his grace. You thought you were losing everything, but you were gaining something unshakable. The calling on your life was not weakened in those moments, it was being forged in fire. God is not done writing your story. The pen is still in his hand, and the ink of his promise does not fade. You may be standing in a chapter that feels unfinished, but the author is not worried. He sees the ending, and it is glorious. Every no you heard will make sense when you step into his yes. Every closed door will be a testimony of his perfect timing. You are not late. You are right on time in the hands of the one who holds eternity. Do not let the enemy convince you to settle in disappointment. Do not build a home in regret. The wilderness is not your destination, it is the training ground. The valley is not the end, it is the place where you learn to hear his voice in the dark. And when you come out, you will come out carrying power, authority, and a testimony that will shake the earth. The calling on your life still stands. Beloved, you are not who you were when he first called you. You are stronger, you are wiser, you are more dependent on his spirit now than you ever were. That is not failure, that is growth. The cracks you see in yourself are not disqualifications, they are openings for his glory to shine through. You are a living testimony of his redeeming power. And your story is far from over. There are lives waiting for your obedience. There are hearts that will find healing through your yes. You cannot give up now. You cannot silence what heaven is speaking. This is your moment to rise. Not because you feel ready, but because he is ready. His call does not wait for your perfection, it waits for your surrender. Lay it all down again. Say yes again. The calling on your life still stands. Every whisper from God carries eternity in it. That is why his words linger long after they are spoken. That is why the calling you heard years ago still burns somewhere deep inside. Even if it feels faint, his voice does not expire. His decree does not fade. You can run from it, but you cannot erase it. The hand of God is on you, and nothing can remove it. Lift your eyes. Breathe in grace. Let hope rise where fear has tried to live. This is not the end. This is not even close to the end. The same God who spoke light into darkness is speaking light into you now. And just as the darkness could not overcome the first light, it cannot overcome you. The calling on your life still stands. And it always will. There is a weight to divine purpose that cannot be shaken off. Even when you try, you may have walked away. You may have hidden. You may have buried the dream under layers of disappointment. But heaven has been digging, uncovering what you thought was gone forever. The call of God is not a fragile flame that dies in the wind. It is a fire that waits beneath the ashes, ready for his breath to awaken it again. Every delay, every detour, every closed door has been preparing you for something bigger than you imagined. What you thought was punishment was actually protection. What you saw as silence was actually strategy. Heaven has been aligning things beyond your sight. When it breaks forth, you will know without a doubt, God never left. The calling on your life never died. It was waiting for the appointed time. And that time is near. Beloved, the very fact that you are hearing these words is proof that God is not finished. His Spirit is chasing you down, not with condemnation but with relentless love. He is not pointing at your failures, he is pointing at your future. He is not rehearsing your mistakes, he is reminding you of his promises. You are not disqualified, you are not too late. You are exactly where his mercy meets you. And from this place, he will raise you again. There are things inside you that the world has not seen yet. There are gifts that have been lying dormant, waiting for this moment. The shaking you have felt has not been to destroy you but to awaken what has been sleeping. This is a divine stirring. This is a holy awakening. The calling on your life is roaring louder than the lies. louder than the fear, louder than the shame. Rise, take courage, step into what heaven has written over you. You have been through fire and flood, but you are still standing. That alone is a testimony. Hell threw everything it had at you, and you are still here. That is because you are not sustained by your own strength. You are upheld by the hand of God. The same hand that formed you in the womb is the hand that holds you now. The same voice that called you forth then is calling you forth now. The calling on your life still stands. This is the moment to believe again. This is the moment to silence every voice of fear and lean into the whisper of the one who knows your name. You are not defined by where you have been. You are defined by who He is. And He is faithful. He is steadfast. He is not done with you yet. Every great story has a moment when it looks like all is lost. Every hero faces a point where the weight seems too much. But those are the moments that set the stage for the greatest victories. Your story is no different. This valley is not the end, it is the setup. This breaking is not your ruin, it is your making. You are being shaped for glory. And the process will be worth it. When you step into what God has promised, you will carry authority forged in fire. You will carry compassion born of suffering. You will carry faith that has been tested and proven unshakable. And the world will know. Only God could have done this. Only His hand could have written this story. The calling on your life still stands. And nothing will ever change that. The enemy tried to convince you that you are finished because he knows what happens when you rise again. He tried to bury you under shame because he knows resurrection is coming. But what hell did not realize is that you cannot bury a seed that God has planted. What looks like burial is actually planting. And planting always leads to new life. You are not done. You are being prepared to bloom in ways you never imagined. God's faithfulness is not measured by how smooth the journey feels. It is measured by the unchanging nature of His word. And His word over you is clear. You are chosen. You are called. You are loved. You are marked for something eternal. That reality does not shift when you stumble. It does not change when you question. It does not waver when you feel weak. The calling on your life still stands because the one who called you never changes. There are divine appointments waiting for you on the other side of this obedience. There are lives intertwined with your story that will find hope because you refused to quit. You may never see the full impact on this side of eternity. But heaven sees it all. That is why the Spirit keeps whispering, keeps pulling, keeps reminding you that it is not over. Your yes carries weight in heaven. Your yes carries power on earth. The road ahead may not look easy, but it will be worth it. Every sacrifice, every step of faith, every moment of surrender will echo into eternity. When you stand in His presence one day, you will see the ripple effect of every time you chose to believe when it would have been easier to give up. And in that moment, you will hear Him say, "Well done." The calling on your life still stands, and you have walked it faithfully. Beloved, let this truth anchor you. God does not change His mind about you. People may walk away, circumstances may shift, your own heart may falter, but the one who called you sees the end from the beginning. And He is not shaken by what has happened in the middle. His plan accounts for every detour. His grace covers every failure. His love carries you through every valley. The calling on your life is not hanging by a thread. It is held by His unbreakable hand. Lift your eyes and see beyond what you feel. Hear the whisper that cuts through the noise. Rise again. Hope again. Believe again. The breath in your lungs is evidence that heaven is not finished. You are still here because there is still purpose. You are still breathing because the assignment still stands. Take courage, beloved. The world has yet to see the fullness of what God has placed inside you. Soon, you will see the pieces come together. Soon, you will step into rooms you thought were closed forever. Soon, you will understand why the waiting was necessary. Every delay has been working for your good. Every unanswered prayer has been shaping you for a greater yes. The God who began this good work is faithful to complete it. You will not miss it. You will not lose it. The calling on your life still stands. And nothing can stop what heaven has set in motion. You are entering a season where what was once whispered will be shouted from the rooftops. The hidden years are about to bear visible fruit. The prayers you prayed in secret are about to manifest in ways that will leave you undone in awe. God has been preparing you not just for a moment but for a movement. What He is about to release through your life will touch more than you can comprehend. This is why the fire has been so hot. This is why the pressure has been so heavy. You are carrying something eternal. Do not let fear paralyze you now. Do not let the weight of responsibility make you retreat. Heaven does not place burdens. It places assignments wrapped in grace. Everything you need to fulfill what He has called you to do is already inside you. The Spirit Himself will empower every step. You are not walking into this alone. You are walking in step with the one who called you. And His presence is your assurance. The calling on your life still stands. Every tear you cried has been counted. Every sigh of surrender has been heard. Heaven wastes nothing. The breaking, the pressing, the waiting, it has all been producing something greater than you can see. You are not the same person who first heard the call. And that is exactly the point. The process has been shaping you into the vessel that can carry the weight of glory about to be revealed. Soon, you will stand in places you only dreamed of. And you will remember this moment. You will remember the whisper that told you not to quit. You will remember the fire that felt like it would consume you but only refined you. And you will lift your hands and declare with tears in your eyes, "It was worth it. The calling on my life still stands. And my God has been faithful."